As news broke out about the US facing the Great Resignation, businesses across the globe became distressed amidst growing fears of an economic slowdown. A record number of Americans have quit their jobs since April 2021, and that's despite the US economy showing signs of recovery. These developments in the US have somehow flagged concerns in the domestic economy on whether a similar pattern could arise in Australia too. Some experts suggest that while workers may not be quitting their jobs, they're certainly reassessing their expectations from their employers. The pandemic saw many job losses, or people picked up work where they could, which may have been underpaid, or they could have been overqualified. Many Australians may now be ready to quit their jobs, but could we see the Great Resignation? Well, 2022 started with the Omicron variant of the virus creating turmoil across the globe, prompting many workers to go on long leaves simply to protect themselves from the virus. The latest data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics reveals that hours worked dropped 8.8% in January 2022, as many workers took sick or week-long annual leaves and resulted to self-imposed restrictions. At the heart of this decline in workforce participation lies a search for a deeper sense of purpose and an overall shift in attitude. Workers are reevaluating their jobs from a holistic point of view. The pandemic has taught the world the invaluable lesson that money and power can do very little in evading a crisis that gripped medical systems by the throat. Perhaps people have finally started to realize the real meaning of the phrase "seize the moment" and are now looking for opportunities that better justify their interests. So could Australia survive a Great Resignation? Well, if such a widespread decline in labour participation did occur in Australia, it could be felt more harshly than the US. While domestic data paints a rather nice picture of the Australian labour market, some economic pundits fear that the market may be headed in the same direction as America. There are worries that such a shock to the workforce could destabilise the existing employment levels and the inter-industry balance. This can directly impact sectors that are currently facing a dearth of skilled workforce. Also, these sectors may face a hit harder than others. While the statistics may not show it, Aussies are currently facing a dilemma about whether to engage in the process of a daily monotony or to switch to a more meaningful way of earning their bread and butter. However, if companies recognise this growing need, they're likely to offer their employees a more habitable environment to work in. So while Australia might not be experiencing the Great Resignation, it might certainly be headed towards one if employers do not knuckle down. So do you fancy resigning? You can leave a comment here if you like, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can press the bell icon to get notifications for our latest videos. I'm Rachel for Kalkine Media.